friends, and welcome back to Beloved Reviews. If you're new here on this channel, I share with you delightful, family-friendly, and faith-based movies and television shows. Happy Saturday, y'all. I hope your weekend is kicking off to an amazing start. I hope you had a wonderful work week that ended, was it? I don't know. Some of y'all's ends on a Friday, and then some of y'all's like the weekend. I don't know. Whatever it is, I hope that it was amazing. I hope you got some time in for yourself, was able to kick back and relax, spend time with your Lord and Savior, and just refresh yourselves. I mean, we all need the moments, okay? And sometimes you got to be reminded of that. Like, yes, take care of you. But yeah, anyways, y'all, as for me, I am doing amazing. I feel like, why did I just pick the wrong time? I mean, I should have thought ahead of time to not jump on here when I know that I don't have like a whole lot of time. So I hope this doesn't seem rushed. I know my last review, to me personally, I felt like, it was rushed a little bit, because I was like, when I look back, I had so much more to say. I wish I would have said this. I wish I would have said that. It was a lot of things that I wanted to point out, and I didn't, because I was like, I knew, like, seriously, right off, when I got right off of there, I had to quickly, edit, then put it up for y'all, and then I was like out the door. And this time I got somewhere to be again. So y'all, please bear with me. I hope this doesn't seem rushed. I'm gonna do my best to kind of slow it down a little bit and try to make sure I hit all points, even though I still feel like there are certain things I'm gonna miss. But y'all, grant your girl some grace, okay? Please forgive me ahead of time. But at least I know when we get to episode 3, I'm gonna make sure, I'm being intentional about this, y'all, that I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna do it in an hour. Well, I don't have much going on after that. Like, I have plenty of time after that to relax and everything. I don't have nowhere to be and all of that. So that is a promise that I made to myself. I know y'all know I'm just walking out through my thoughts. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and get right into this. As you can tell, if you saw the thumbnail, we are back in relationship status with your girl Mel and Matthew. Yes, we are all in the business. Of course, I have a lot of things to say. Y'all know how we do. We have our opinions and everything. And the good thing about this is fictional, so we can talk about it as much. We can go in as much as we want to, because these are not real people. However, they do represent a real reality for most of us, especially if you are out there on them dating streets right now, okay? Or in the era of dating right now, where we have social media and we have a lot of distractions, and it kind of seems like it's a buffet line out there. I mean, that's how people are approaching it. It may not be you, but a lot of people are looking at it like that, okay? Forgive me, y'all. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. You can find this series, this series streaming right now for free on YouTube. I will leave all the information in the description box like I did before, and I hope you all have made the time to hop on over there and watch it for yourselves and see how the Lord is leading and directing you in this whole area that we're talking about. All right, y'all can always come back and drop it in the comments. Let me know how you feeling about this and all of that, and who you for right now. Are you team Melanie or are you team Matthew? That is the question. So let me know in the comment section below how you liking it so far, and where you at, like whatever it is. I want to know about it. I want to hear about it. But anyways, so y'all know the last episode left off with a little bit of a dilemma. Forgive me. It was like Matthew, like we went through the moments. We went through the moments of excitement, a little bit of adventure. Matthew making us smile, making us laugh a little bit. We got to see how a little bit of their personalities. Of course, we still don't know exactly as much as we would like to know. There's still a lot of unanswered questions, but that can be a good thing. We need a little bit of mystery so we can stick around to find out all of that. Right? And so, yes, we see that they were supposed to go on a date, and Matthew arrived a little bit early, kind of throwing us for a loop, because Melanie had just got in from the gym and probably was planning on getting dolled up, looking as what how we wanted. Y'all know how we want to do, don't even front. And she probably had all of that in her mind. But of course, in life, things happen and unexpectedly. So he did show up early. He did catch her off guard and different things. And we don't know if that was on purpose, or we don't know if it just happened to be that way. Of course, I told y'all what I thought. Yeah, it was on purpose. Okay, Matthew? I see you, okay? So that's where I was, but I could be wrong. There's always room, then for error, that I could be wrong. But anyways, so we see they go through this conversation that they're like, it's been 3 months and they both are feeling each other. Matthew, I won't say a little bit more than Melanie, but he probably really developed some strong feelings for her. And like many people, at least the way the world teaches us as a society, is that when you are to feeling someone that much, where they have your heart, or if it's that serious, a lot of society tells us to take it to the next level, to give every part of you to that person. And we know, according to the word of God, that is not how it should go down. It is not the case, but it is the least popular. It is not how you see most people moving. And so that's one of the things I really enjoy about this series so far. It is showing us, how do we navigate dating or courtship in the era of social media, in this generation, and doing it God's way. Like, we rarely see people doing it that way. Even if you just go to, I don't know, a friend, a family member, whoever, and just ask for certain advice about a situation, majority of the time you're not going to get God's heart in that answer, unfortunately. And it shouldn't be that way. And so I really do appreciate that we're approaching this from a different angle, and we're approaching this with God in mind. So once again, support the series, because we need to see more of this. So we do see that Melanie and Matthew are in a little bit of a dilemma here, that they are wrestling against the flesh, because just because you are doing it God's way and you chose to live for him, it doesn't make it easy for you. It's not like you get this free pass, like, okay, now that you decided to follow the Lord, you're saved and all of that, okay, everything's going to be easy for you now, and now you can be obedient to me because it's easy. No, it is like it kicks up a notch at that point, because now your eyes are open, you are aware, you're going to be held accountable, not only by yourself and by God, but also by the person you're dealing with. And that's what we're dealing here with Mel and Matthew. And Matthew is obviously in a point of weakness right now, because it's so many different shots he threw at her in the first episode, where he wanted things to lead to a certain place that they both should not be heading that way at all. They both should be standing far away from that as possible, because they're not married. They have not made a commitment to each other in that way. They are not one in God's eyes. So with that being said, you still you got to approach that like your sister in Christ, your brother in Christ. And yet Matthew is in a moment of weakness. So here's the good part when you are dealing with someone who is on the same page as you, because you both may have a moment of weakness, but hopefully in different times. So the other one can say, we ain't doing this. Okay, if I gotta leave here, let me leave here. That's why you need to be with the right individual, because y'all can help each other and one person may be the strength at that time, one person may be in weakness, that little bit of balance right there. And so that's what we deal with the first episode. Matthew was there. He was ready to jump into some places, go to some areas that we didn't need to see and they didn't need to see either, okay? And Melanie laid it out for him, reminded him, okay, what kind of person she is. This is how we're doing it. And it's not because I feel like you're not the one, or I'm trying to make you suffer or anything like that. It's because I do love you and because I do care that much about you. That's how love looks. It's not looking like, okay, let me just give in to your every whim because you are the one. No, but being the person that instead of giving you the junk food, I'm going to give you the veggies. You know what I'm saying? Y'all probably like, but Lord, why you talking to us like this? Because y'all need to be talked to like this. That's why I'm talking to you like this, okay? We all need to be talked to like this, all right? And be reminded, because it is just too much stuff going on out here. It really is. Just look around. But anyways, and so, yeah, they get past that moment. Well, you would think they got past clearly that moment. However, Matthew was still on the slide. pushing certain things, putting certain ideas out there. And Melanie was dodging them. Your girl was like, getting out the way, throwing it back at them, like what it's really about. So I did appreciate that. However, there were some flaws in Melanie's, response. There was, and we talked about that in the first episode. And, she was sitting on your boy's lap, which wasn't making it any easier. And then it ended in a very disturbing kind of way, all right? And I know this word is probably a little bit strong, probably got your mind going to something just really off the whim. It really wasn't like that. But something simple as Matthew having another girl like his picture. And that sent Melanie walking out of the room. And you saw it all in her face. You knew she was very upset by this, that this probably was maybe a deal breaker that she really probably didn't even think about. Because, if you're not brought up in this era where you came up with the social media, with the AI, and many of you who watching this video did not come up that way, because that would mean you would be like still a kid now if you came up with that. So it's probably a little bit different from their perspective because they came up with it. So that probably wouldn't be a big deal. So what? Somebody like your photo or whatever. It's not a big deal. Everybody like stuff. It doesn't mean anything. But if you are a millennial or someone, you're right after that generation where you did not come up that way. You didn't come up with a phone in your hand. You didn't go to high school with Instagram and all this kind of stuff. It is different. And we see that with Mel here and Matthew. That rubbed her the wrong way when she walked off in that last episode and Matthew was looking kind of crazy. Okay, I don't know what that crazy really meant. I don't know if you felt like you messed up somehow, or if you simply felt like, what is the big deal? I really don't know. So it leads us to the episode we're in now, episode 2, still in season 1, right? And so I gotta say this because y'all know I'm gonna say it. So Melanie, it opens up. Melanie is in the bathroom, look like she just, got out the shower, she's clothed and everything, but your hair is a little bit messy and different stuff, probably because the steam got to it a little bit and everything like that. So you're looking in the mirror, and all of this time, Matthew has been there because he's still in his same clothes. And I am like, what are you doing here? What are you still doing here, Matthew? Okay, you already got some points knocked off. Seriously, from me, because somebody don't like your picture. You should have been headed home, and we could talk about this tomorrow. I need time to cool off, okay? I need time, right? And apparently you stayed around. You've been there all this time. Most of the time, people in the shower 30, 45 minutes or whatever. So you telling me all this time, you had time, you sat there, and you was in my place. You never left, and you was here all this time. And then when I'm getting myself in the mirror and everything, still trying to get cute and stuff, because that's just how it is, right? You behind me, I see you. I see your reflection in the mirror. Yes, I see you. And I'm looking like, what you expect? This shower ain't erased her light from your Instagram, did it? So why you think I should be looking any different? All right, I'm still looking stank face. Okay, I'm still looking that way. Okay, and so he come by. He's like, and even with your little cute face, even with your cute baby face and everything, it still ain't taken away from how I'm feeling right now. And Mel shows that very clearly. I have to give it to her in this episode, because these are short episodes. Y'all know most episodes 30 minutes sometimes, 30 minutes on average a lot of times. So, and that gives you enough time to get in certain things that you want the audience to get from these people who we really don't know in season 1. We getting to know them. We're starting on this journey with them, right? And these episodes are very short, and so they have so much time, only so much time to really take us there. And the actors did amazing here. They really did, because Mel says so much, and just her expressions alone, it says a lot. It cuts out so many different lines that she doesn't even have to say. We don't even have to waste that amount of film on that because you get it all in her face. And it's the same thing with Matthew. I'm mentioning Mel probably a little bit more because us girls, we know how girls are. We know certain looks and we know what you're thinking. But a lot of times with guys, we may not know what they're thinking. We don't, because we're not them. And so I have to give it to Matthew because he does so well too. Really, with his expressions, they take you on this journey where you feel like you know what he's thinking. And to me, that lets me know a thing here about Matthew is that he's a decent guy. He is not a manipulator or a deceiver, someone who is setting out to purposely break your heart. I mean, there are so many different guys out there that purposely stepping into situations knowing they're coming with some baggage that you don't even know about. And you probably be shocked and probably wouldn't even waste your time if you would have known the kind of baggage that they were stepping into this thing with, starting something with. They're starting a relationship off of a lie. Those are the bad guys, you know, and you don't really know what they're thinking because they have mirrored so much what we think a good guy would say and do, to the point where by the time they meet you and got to you, went through so many different women, by the time they got to you, they done perfected the craft of manipulation. And so it just throws you for a loop because you're like, you just don't know. And you kind of have to trust more in that discernment that God gave you, that you can't pinpoint it, but there's something that just doesn't feel right about you, even though you haven't done nothing yet. Forgive me, y'all, I just met you, but there's something in me that's like, pull back. I just don't know what it is. It's something about you. You haven't done nothing. You haven't said nothing yet because it's still early. I just met you, but I just don't, it doesn't feel right. It just isn't right. And that is that moment y'all need to run. We all need to run because it's there. God give it to us, that discernment. We just have to listen to it, because I haven't heard so many stories that people say how it was in the beginning, that usually most women say that they felt like something wasn't right. Even though you didn't have the proof, but you just felt like it was just wrong and you stayed. And then you find out like it got that bad. So I'm gonna encourage y'all, like when it's like that, begin as soon as you feel it, just go, okay? But anyway, so back to my point with Matthew. Matthew, you can tell that that's not where we're coming from here. That's not that type of guy, because you can read him so much in his emotions and his expression. And that doesn't mean that he's perfect, because clearly he isn't. We see that here. But at the same time, his intentions are not, you can tell he's not intentionally trying to hurt Melanie. That's just not it. And he explains it to her in this episode. He is like saying like he did nothing wrong here. You can't help who likes your picture. What they got to do with me, you know? And that's where he's coming from. Like, I can't help. I mean, sometimes people just be strolling through. Sometimes people accidentally click on a photo and it liked it. It means nothing because I didn't respond to her. I don't even really know this person like that. And all these different things he is like throwing at Melanie. And it's making her kind of question if she's taking this a little too far, if she's being a little bit harsh about this. But at the same time, she's still upset about it because it still happened. And it's like, we're in the era of social media, so that may be true for you, but how many people are seeing what I just saw? If people know that me and you are together, and yet they coming across certain pictures on your Instagram and they seeing this female over here, this female over there, liking and commenting and whatever. So what that looks like to the world, it looks like we're not even serious. It looks like we're not even in a relationship. I thought we was in this together. And so I get where Melanie is coming from, that not only do we have to be responsible and set boundaries with one another, but we also have to portray that even when we're dealing with the outside world, because unfortunately we're living in an age of social media, and we have to set those same boundaries, and they need to be so clear that anybody can see. You know, don't even try it. Don't even try it, little girl. Don't even try it now. And so I see where Melanie is coming from, and she expressed that in a very mature way. She didn't yell. Her voice was very soft, but it was her response was soft, but it was direct. It was letting him know that I'm serious about this. Hey, this hurt me, and I thought we were in this together. And I love the approach that she's taking here in this episode. It's such a mature response that we don't really see. I mean, y'all know how it go. We would be up in your face telling you about yourself, all the way down to your mama, your brother, your sister, and everything else when we mad. And the only thing that does is escalate things. It just makes the situation that much worse. And then it's provoking a negative response from your partner. And because Melanie approached this in the way that she did, you could tell Matthew didn't have the guards up so much when he was listening to her and facing her, because I don't think that he felt like she was attacking him or trying to like control him in a certain kind of way. She was simply, forgive me y'all, she was simply expressing what she felt and letting him know that she was hurt. And a lot of times we do this. I'm putting me in there as well because I am a woman, and yeah, we're here, right? So a lot of times we either wail over here or wail over there. Either we in your face telling you about yourself and everything else, or we like, all right, okay, that's all right, you can have that. It's not even a big deal. And even when you do that, you cave in, you surrender, you are still fuming inside. You're still angry about it. You're still on edge about it. So that didn't go away. So it's not even like you're making a compromise at that point. You're still mad. You just like, whatever, let's just let it be. And that doesn't do anything either. It doesn't make the situation better either, because now you still feeling some kind of way, and the person done moved on thinking that everything is all right now, we cool, and yet you still back there. And so that's not good. So I love, this is what we should be doing. Exactly what Melanie did here. You confront the situation. You don't run from it. If this is a person you're serious about and he's serious about you, then let's talk about this. This is a big thing. If I'm feeling some kind of way or you feeling some kind of way, let's talk about it. And so I love that we're seeing this. And I have to point this out because I should have said this in the first episode, but like I said, I was a little bit rushed and everything. The writer of this series mentioned that, I watched the interview and she mentioned, I'm just paraphrasing, I don't remember the exact words, y'all forgive me there, but she mentioned that she wanted to write, relationship status, but without the trauma. And I love that, because we see so many different things when people write about this type of stuff, that we see a lot of drama, we see a lot of trauma, we see a lot of things, especially when it's people of color. We see a lot of ratchetness and what you shouldn't do. We see all of that. People love that, putting that out there. And I love that she had, her intentions was, yes, we can have certain things, we can have certain traumas because that's real life, but I'm not going to traumatize these characters. I'm not gonna make it where it's just toxic. And I love that. Okay, I love that, because you can still have certain things without all of that, without just crushing a person. And now you're living 20 years from that situation, you're still carrying around certain things from way back then because you've been that wounded and ruined. So I love how she is approaching this, and I cannot wait for season 2. I'm just putting it out there, right? And so yes, Melanie does lay it out for Matthew, basically how she feels about this, and certain boundaries need to be in place. And Matthew's response was, let me just break it down to you, sum it all up for you. Matthew was more like I said, he felt like he didn't do anything. It's not like he, did, anything. Like he was on this girl page or commenting or talking to her or whatever. So he feels like he's cool with that. But he also lays out basically, he puts out there, what you want me to do? Delete my social media? And I was like, yeah. Read between the lines, buddy, okay? Delete the thing. If it ain't for your business, if it's not for your business, right? Why you on there? Why you on there if you know these types of things can happen, and now you know that I feel the way that I feel? When you say something and it just remind me, because I don't know, people be doing that. They do that. They'll throw out what you want me to do is exactly what you want them to do, and try to make you feel like you're in the wrong for that. That's just petty. Why would you want somebody to delete your social media. And I would have been real in that moment, because I felt like Mel would have preferred that. She really would have. If he would have said, you know what, I love you this much. This relationship means so much to me that I'm just going to delete the thing. It's not a big deal. I know that was the response that she would have liked to hear. I would have liked to hear that as well. Because when he would have said that, I would have said, yeah, that's exactly what I want you to do, okay? Y'all probably be like, but little girl, you doing a little too much. Well, I'm gonna keep it real, right? We be doing that. Y'all know that's what y'all would want. And y'all are shut down in a sense like Mel did. And try to, I was gonna say compromise, but it ain't even really that. Just try to make like, okay, it ain't really that serious. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. I just want us to have a little bit more boundaries. Girl, delete the thing. That's what I want to say, okay? And Matthew knew that. He knew that would have solved literally everything. But he clearly wants to keep his social media. And to me, I just felt like, I mean, is that more important than me, than what we got going on here? Why not just get rid of it? But I get it. We living in an era. That's how a lot of people do business and everything else. I mean, emails and all this kind of stuff. We just hear, right? But yeah, I had to point that out. That's what I would have wanted. That's what I would have said. Okay, got a problem with that? I don't know. What you got to say? But that's how I feel. Well, anyway, so Mel just came up with, no, I just basically want boundaries, you know, not only with us, but even when we're dealing with the outside and all of this. And just go on this long monologue type of thing, which she wanted to say when she had to say it. And I give it to her, like I said, that she voicing her concerns, her, you know, putting it out there, how this hurt her, why this bothers her. She did an amazing job with that. And Matthew even saying how he feels, even though he was kind of, you know, trying to manipulate slightly the situation by starting off there, clearly starting off there, which want me to do, delete the thing, you know, and then, you know, that's gonna make a person feel like, okay, I know I don't really want you to do that. I mean, you had it before I met you and everything, you know, and so oh, goodness, child, I just had to say what I had to say in that moment. But anyway, so I think he got through all of that, and they basically, and then Matthew kind of walked off a little bit. And at that moment, I had to say, I would just let you walk off because I need to cool off anyway. I just got to shower and all of this stuff. And I ain't got time. I'm still mad at you, okay? Going out the door, okay? But he just walked off, and Mel kind of was still talking to him, still drawing him back closer in a way. I mean, she did a good job of de-escalating the situation. I have to give it to her, and I know that's technically the right thing, how we should do. We should humble ourselves and not feel like, okay, since you want to walk away, then walk away, you know? And no, you really should be mature adults. And in that moment, I wanted to be immature. I did. You want to walk away? Go ahead, okay? Go on. And if you call me later, I ain't get on my phone either. I'll call you after you done called me about 10 times. Y'all can't take me serious when I be doing these things. Don't take me serious, okay? That is not the right thing to do. But y'all know, we be thinking that. I'm just telling y'all the real, what we be thinking, what we want to do. Who wants to really humble themselves in that situation when you know you clearly ain't in the wrong? Humble yourself and just talk it out. Even when the person just kind of walked away, you don't want to be like, oh, but Mel did good in that, showing us how we should do it. And he eventually came back to her and basically told her that he's not trying to hurt her or anything, and don't make him pay for another man's mistakes. He knows she had a past, not the best past. Don't make him pay for somebody else's mistakes. And I was like, you're right in saying that, Matthew, but at the same time, I see what you're trying to do, okay? You still being too cute for your own good, but I get it. And that's how Mel was, like, she get it. He was like, you understand, you feel me, or whatever. She's like, yeah. And then that brought about the smiles. You know how to make a smile, hey, that's how you do it, Matthew. And so I was smiling again. I was feeling like Mel smiling, and you know, he come near a little bit, hold your hand, hold your palms, okay, you feel the warmth there, everything. And then y'all, and then when he pulled her into a little sweet hug, and I was like, oh, I melted. I melted, y'all. I melted. wasn't even mad no more. And I noticed how Mel felt. And then we end that scene. And so they in the living room, like they finally getting back to their date after all of that. Y'all, I know, didn't it feel like I was on a roller coaster for a minute? That's how I feel. And then they ended back on their date, y'all. They in the living room about to watch something probably real funny or whatever. You know, it seemed like it was a suggestion by Matthew because he had asked her, I think, or she responded like I don't know, the conversation like something that she never saw before. I don't know, so I don't know who picked it. I'm thinking more Matthew. And they on the couch and Matthew is like getting up, like he was like, they see how she want her popcorn. This went way to my heart now. Popcorn, y'all see my popcorn? Child, girl. Slap me some butter on there, boy. Give me some movie little butter. That's how we doing it, Max. That's what we doing, okay? And so, yeah, he go in the kitchen and get that going. Pop, pop, pop. Getting that going, right? And then Melanie sitting there and then she looks down at her phone. Something's going on with that. Now, we just went through this thing with Matthew, okay? We just laid it all out. And I was team Melanie, all right, when it came to it because she was doing a thing. But now we got to question what's going on with you. What you in your phone for, girl? Not when you done went off to get you some popcorn. You in your phone like that, like something else going on. Who done text you? Oh, y'all. But it was this other scene right before that some girl was like liking a photo. And I'm not sure if that's the girl that liked Matthew's photo. Well, I don't know where she came from, where homegirl popped up at, but yeah, that's how the episode ended. Y'all can see I still have a ton of questions, like what in the world is happening now? All right, but yeah, once again, this is Relationship Status, streaming right now for free on YouTube. Y'all go support, because people be like, they be wanting good stuff, and why can't things be like this? Why can't we have more godly things? And why can't people of color be this or that and all this stuff? And now you got it. Now there's no excuse, and they put it on here for free. Let's get over there and support. Watch these things a ton of times. Learn from them. I don't watch this episode, I don't know how many times. And as I am doing the reviews, I am going back to the previous episode and I'm watching them over and over again just to kind of get more of a feel so I can tell y'all about it, but also just supporting that we have people like you who are trying to do it God's way. So yeah, before I head on out of here, let's go ahead and get into the scripture. We are coming out of, oh y'all forgive me, we're coming out of Proverbs 18 verse, what we got here. Is this the right one? Let me see, y'all. Let me see before I tell y'all. Look at y'all, I want to know. I'm trying to see if this is okay, y'all was on the wrong page. Here we are. We coming out of I'm about to say Matthew. Matthew, get out my mind. Get off my mind now. Hey, you too cute. So we're coming out of Proverbs 16 verse 7. And it reads, when a man's ways please the Lord, he makes even his enemies to be at peace with him. So that's all I have for y'all for this video. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. And y'all remember to let me know what y'all thoughts are, your takes and everything. And until next time, may the Lord bless and keep you both now and forevermore.